everyone. If the audio is super weird, I'm recording it separately because of a series of events that I am not going to explain in this right now. Today, we are going to be talking about what was one of my favorite shows growing up. And by growing up, I mean high school. I got really into this in high school. And that's Daria. I loved Daria. I watched a lot of Daria when I was in high school. That's when I discovered it. I got really into it. I related very strongly to a number of characters in the show. My makeup today is inspired by this. This is the inspiration, so now you understand the context. I'm going to be describing what your favorite Daria character says about you. And this is a long list of characters. Don't worry, I have most of them represented unless you have a very specific favorite character, in which case I can't help you, and that's a journey of self-discovery you have to go on your own, because this is such a long list. I'm going to get into this now. All right. First, we have Chris and Sam Griffin. You love chaos and tell people they're overreacting if someone sets a boundary with you, and you never learned how to set healthy boundaries in your life and think everyone should deal with everything the same way that you do. That was a little sassy. I wrote some of these a while ago. Val, you probably like this character because of how unbearable she is, but you also worry that you relate to her and you have an overwhelming fear of growing up and being old. Nathan represents a simpler time when you didn't realize how ethically complex it was to have an obsession with vintage fashion and the whole being born in the wrong decade thing. You wish you could go back, but you know you're too far gone now. Link. I literally do not remember this character at all, and if you like them, it's because you like to be a unique fan of the series. Lindy reminds you of the friendships that occur when you're forced to connect in social situations where you don't know anyone. Probably enjoyed summer camp and or worked at one. Heather. You have been a college tour guide. Alison. You don't really like Alison as a person, but aesthetically you wish you looked like her. She also has made you question your sexuality. Dotson. You only date men who are terrible to you. David Sorenson. You really want everyone to have a happy ending and understand that sometimes that means that things don't work out the way you think that they should. Tad and Tricia Gupty. You want to work in the field of education mostly because you had really terrible teachers. Tommy Sherman. You like the trope of jerks who get what's coming to them, but also was bullied by someone who played football in high school. Robert. You sometimes feel like you don't have enough friends and you want everyone to be happy. Eric Schrecter. You don't know when you have overstepped the line. Also, you might not be a real human. Brooke. You do think the concept of a failed nose job is funny, and you haven't quite emotionally worked out why that is. Dr. Shar. You welcome evil into your life, have crippling self-hatred, but in reality, your appearance is fine, but you probably won't work that out until you're much older. Artie. Not only do you personally believe in aliens, you have also dated people who believe they've been abducted by aliens. Monique. Monique is who you wish you could be when you're going through your mid-20s midlife crisis. You've also formed a band at some point. Ted DeWitt Carlton. Either you were homeschooled or you knew people that were. You love to watch Breaking Amish. Willow Yeager. You have mom energy and were probably vegan for a period of time. You're also probably bisexual. Ethan Yeager. The number of times you developed a crush on someone you've only interacted with for a few days is absolutely through the roof. Coyote Yeager. You like cars, craft beer, and suck at driving. You're probably also bisexual. Brian Danielson. It's likely you have dated someone like Brian. You also like to watch things fall apart. Erin Chambers. Say Yes to the Dress was your favorite childhood show. Amy Barksdale. You're likely the younger sibling and grew up constantly being told that your interests are strange and being compared to your older siblings. You're likely much happier and much more secure in yourself than they are. Despite that, you also have really good taste. Full stop. Rita Barksdale. You like Rita in the same way that you like alcohol. You know they aren't a good person, you have a habit of making things about themselves, but sometimes it's fun to have a messy time. Tom Sloane. Your high school relationships were likely complicated, to say the least. If your friends were to describe you, they would say that you are chill and that you go with the flow, and you're probably one of the smart kids in your classes, but you don't always do the best job of reading others' emotions. Now we have Mystic Spiral. We've moved past the side characters, except how is Tom? I feel like Tom's more than a side character. Whatever, I didn't actually make the order I'm saying these in. Mystic Spiral. Jesse Moreno. I don't know what your sexuality is, and you might not either, but this man is included somehow. You also love himbos. You might have been Team Jacob. Nick Campbell. You like Nick because he plays bass. You probably also have colorful hair. Max Tyler. You like Max because you play drums. Nothing else of that. All right, here we have the Lane family. Courtney and Adrian Lane. You always wanted to run away as a child, and if you had TikTok as a child, you would definitely have made one of those runaway series accounts. Penny Lane. You either do not live in the country that you were born in, or you don't want to. You worked with at least one for-profit organization, don't want to anymore, and will do anything that you can to avoid it. Summer Lane. You either love or hate how relaxed Summer is. You wish you could be more like her, or you wish you could call CPS on her. Wind Lane. Stressful people bring you joy. Why do they bring you joy? Amanda Lane. You probably like Amanda because you had a helicopter parent growing up, and seeing a parent that is so detached is somehow really attractive to you. You also can't cook. Vincent Lane. You have done hobby film photography for a period. Now we have the teachers. It's the teacher time. Mr. Timothy O'Neill. You had this teacher and you felt sorry for them. You probably also suffer from pretty strong secondhand embarrassment, and you've probably ended up in relationships that you weren't ready for. Miss Angela Lee. You are a leader. You're probably a Gemini or an Aries. You also have massive budgeting issues. Mr. Anthony DiMartino. You have a rage unlike any other, and you wish you could just yell. You wish you could just yell, but you can't. Mrs. Claire Defoe. You recognize that you're allowed to have fun and that you're only young ones. You also tend to get uncomfortable when anyone goes to any extreme whatsoever, and you also hate saying no to people. Mrs. Diane Bennett. You collect Squishmallows. I know it. Mrs. Janet Barch. You have absolutely started physical altercations. You also visit a vast number of Discord servers daily, but you only lurk. Next we have the Fashion Club. Peek my look. I'm Stacy. Tiffany Blum-Deckler. You understand power dynamics when you see them, and while you aren't ever the one behind the steering wheel, you know when to jump ship from a situation. Stacy Rowe. You never felt like you 100% fit in with your friend group or friend groups in high school, but you truly valued the friendships that you did have. Sandi Griffin. Sandi reminds you of a toxic friend who we all love nowadays in the way that we learn to love toxic friends, which is through watching their slightly more and more depressing Instagram posts. Here are just some other students. We have Joey, Jeffy, and Jamie. You've played a male-dominated sport at one point and feel pretty comfortable being one of the boys. You also just kind of like dumb shit sometimes. Michael, Mac, Jordan, Mackenzie. You tend to be the voice of reason in your friend group. You probably also had kind of shitty friends growing up. Kevin Thompson. You tend to see the best in people and you're able to somehow maintain a positive attitude about most things. Charles Upchuck Rutheimer III? I'm pretty sure. I'm sorry, but if you actually liked Upchuck, I can't help you. I feel like that is such an unlikable character, but also I feel like you've probably watched The Office multiple times and you feel no fear. So, Jodie Landon. You have more patience than the world deserves. You probably have dated some really shitty people, but they recognize, even if the relationship didn't work out, that you helped make them a better person. Brittany Taylor. Harley Quinn is the reason you have enjoyed anything related to Batman within the last decade. Also, big titty though. Andrea, you loved alternative fashion from a young age, but you never got to explore it growing up. Trent Lane, I don't know why Trent's included here. I feel like I should have put him with Mystic. You've had a crush on a friend's older brother. 100%. You also have a crush on Trent, let's be real here. All right, and then we have our main characters. We have our main ones. Jake Morgendorffer. You say goddammit a lot more than you realize. You're working towards rebuilding your relationships with people from your past, but you're also kind of starting to learn that in some cases, that's just not gonna happen. Helen Morgendorffer. You get shit done, but you don't know how to handle it either. It's this amazing balance. productivity through the roof, but you also cry. Quinn Morgendorffer. You were mostly valued for your looks growing up, or no value was placed on your looks growing up, and something about seeing a character that is just vain, but you know, you're kind of okay with that, is appealing. Jane Lane. You probably aren't actually that artistic, but you wish that you were. Or you are artistic and you don't get how Jane has so much time to create stuff because it feels like life doesn't work that way. You also really, really value your friendships and probably have a close couple of friends that mean a lot to you. Lastly, Daria. What does it mean if you relate to Daria? Well, you probably were a social outcast growing up. You're probably really frustrated with the systems that you existed within and wanted to get out and make a big change. But the older you got, the more you realized how challenging all of that is, and that we're all kind of trapped within this weird systemic bubble, and capitalism, and everything's really fucking hard, and you're really smart, but you feel stuck. Or is that all of us? All right, well, thank you for joining me on this adventure. I know I've been making some more off-the-cuff videos lately. The main reason for that is I've just decided to make sure that the video content I'm making is fun for me. And sometimes putting on a ton of weird makeup and talking about Daria is what seems like it's gonna be fun for me. So I am gonna be trying to stream every Tuesday and Thursday starting at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so you can follow me on Twitch if you ever want to check those out. I've also been making the occasional TikTok, as well as I exist other places on social media. I'm bad at this whole advertising myself thing. I've never been good at it. I'll get there one day. But thank you all so much for joining me on this adventure. Who is your favorite Daria character growing up? Who did you relate to the most? I hope you all are doing well. Make sure you're staying hydrated. All of that. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.